Ahoy Captain, and welcome to the tool tutorial on how to use the CII Excel calculator. If you've purchased the CII Excel, we are very grateful for your purchase. If not, no worries, hopefully you will learn something by watching this tutorial. Before we start, a few disclaimers from our side, however. Disclaimer number one is that even though this tool is comprehensive, it is not complete. That means that it is not a perfect estimate of your CII. We don't know all your data. In particular, your correction factors are not included. So this is a quick way to estimate your CII, but please inform your recognized authority if you need a official estimate. Secondly, it is ship type, not ship specific. We don't know your ship information. We've uploaded quite a few ship types. These should suffice, and you can of course change and customize the tool for yourself, but please note again that we do not have all your ship information. And lastly, this tool is subject to change. We keep updating the tool itself, and of course CII is updated regularly as well. So make sure that you either have the last version or you've changed the changes yourself. And by changes we mean the changes to CII regulations. If at any point while working on this sheet you need any more information, guidance on or clarifications, simply contact the help desk for more information. We are there to make your life easier, so do not hesitate to click on the button. Now without further ado, let's get started. So over here we have the Excel instructions first. Here you can see this video or a link to the video with the download guide button. More on that later on. And the instructions, which I will of course relay to you using this video itself, but everything should be told here, or most of the way of working. And if we look to all the different tabs, we have CII overview, that mostly this part that should cover for most of you users most of it. We've broken down the calculation steps in 3 steps to make it a bit more easy and comprehensive, but it's, well, we'll go through it and you'll see it that it's mostly a few tables that are different per step, and of course a few calculations. Some ship data that we have per ship type, fuel emissions, so per fuel type, and then we have references, which is mostly the guide here itself. The guide is quite comprehensive and includes all the information, but most of us are not going to read 40 pages of info, so this movie should be enough. Let's first go to CII overview. As you can see here, I'm going to zoom out. These input parameters should be all you need. The tooltip here explains what it is exactly, usually with some more information and guidance, and here we have the different units. So ship type, we can choose from these different ship types. Please note that some ship types, like for instance offshore ship types, do not yet have to comply with CII, so their CII does not apply. Otherwise it does, and even if we have a GT of lower than 5,000, then let's try it out. Yeah, compliant 500, GT below 5,000. There you go. It should give you some estimates on whether or not CII applies. And here we can simply change all the input parameters with the CII rating result here on the right hand side. Please note that if you change the input parameters here, then also the links to ship data, etc. is also broken. So if you do that, well, that's of course up to you. Make sure that you make a copy of the sheet, then you can always play and break stuff. And if you here click on the plus to expand, you see all the main calculations for each steps broken out. This is a lot of information, and it's all included here in step 1 to 3 as well, so we'll go through it. Step 1 is to calculate CII attained. We first check if CII applies and the CII ship type. Then we calculate CO2 emissions, dead weight, distance sailed, and with that, this quite simple formula, we gain a CII attained. And if you expand here, you see that for each ship type we have a look at what exactly is the capacity, dead weight or gross tonnage, and then we look up value, which is looked up at the ship data tab. Some notes here that the dead weight corresponds to maximum summer load draft, and of course all these very small notes and important parts of the IMO regulations have been included. Check the guide for more information to be sure. Step 2 is calculating CII reference line. For each ship type there is a CII reference where we calculate A, C, capacity. Using this formula we get CII reference. Of course, R is a reduction factor that increases over time, but the CII reference itself is simply A multiplied by capacity to the power minus C. And here you see, no pun intended, that for each ship type we have a capacity A and C available. There are some rules here as well as to which A and C applies under which conditions that you can look up for further information, and also check to see if we are correct or not. All included in the guide, but also here, and you can simply play with these numbers as well as per your desires. Step 3 is finally calculating the required CII and the resulting rating. As you can see, the required CII has to do with the reduction factor R, as we can see here, and the rating itself is CII attained divided by CII required. We do that in all these steps per year, so we have the reduction factor, CII required, CII attained divided by required, and the resulting rating. And again, we have a lot of information, most notably the D factors that are used to actually give the rating based on the CII attained divided by required. And here we also see that per ship type we have different D1, D2, D3 and D4. And here we see all the different Ds given their conditions. And as you can see, for each of the steps we simply show you the Ds that we have used for calculations. Or not we, you will use by using this Excel sheet. So again, feel free to play around with these numbers. We've actually ourselves taken the liberty sometimes for a few clients to change these reduction ratings to 40, 50% or what have you, to have a look in the future what it could mean for your ship if you still have it sailing around in 15 or 20 years. And that's of course what you can get by using this Excel. Then finally, the ship data and fuel emission data. As you can see, I've taken some reference vessels with bold the CII applicable ship types, and here we simply assume a certain amount of values. GT and deadweight should be mostly correct, but fuel type, cruising speed and fuel consumption per year could change. So feel free to play around. Fuel emissions data with a link to a different guide that we have used. We only have 3 different fuel types. You can change fuel emission factors and others if you want to. There could be specific fuel types now that have not been included in the IMO regulations at the moment. So again, this is up to yours to play around with. And finally, as stated plenty of times, here are all the references, and if we scroll a little bit to the right, you can actually download the entire guide as per your convenience. But as you can see here, the guide is 40 pages plus. It does include a lot, if not all information needed, but it definitely is a lot. And that concludes our tutorial. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. At least we hope so. And if not, feel free to contact the help desk, because we are here to make your life easier and not have you bogged down and spending a lot of time on these dreadful administratory blah 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 works. Thanks again for your attention and have a great day.